You gotta stop spending 1000 bucks on a new smartphone. Seriously guys. This right here is the Redmi Turbo 5 Max and it has a battery larger than some power banks out there with a screen brighter than your future, all for under 400 bucks. I've been daily driving this little beast for about a week and I'll give you my honest take, I promise. So let's dive in. And we're gonna start off with the speed. Well, let me tell you, this phone is probably unbeatable when it comes to speed, not only in its price category, but also compared to some flagships out there. This is its Geekbench and 3D Mark scores, and these are the ones of my S24 Ultra. And in real world use, the Turbo breezes through everything you throw at it, and honestly I was not expecting it to perform that good. I've tested multiple games, but primarily the heavier games like Genshin Impact and Where Winds Meet, and they all run flawlessly. I'm not surprised by that because the S24 Ultra here is slower and also handles this game just fine. I also kept an eye on the thermals and the phone did get warm indeed, but that's to be expected, and it never actually went too hot. That's because of the new cooling chamber they've stuffed inside of here compared to the previous Turbo 4. So if you want that 120 FPS on PUBG and hours upon hours of playtime, then this is the right phone for you. And speaking of its longevity, we've got a monster of a battery inside here. 9000 mAh is a ridiculous amount for such a cheap phone, and that is paired with 100 watts of fast charging. So we're talking 15 to 20 to 25 minutes of charging from 0 to full and you're done. The phone lasts a very comfortable 3 days even if you use it a lot, and no other phone can compete with that, especially not the flagships like the Xiaomi 17 Ultra or the S26 Ultra. They just don't last that long. I've seen way too many reviewers complain about them, and since we're on the topic of durability here, we also gotta talk about the IP69K rating. That's also higher than the S26 Ultra. You can drop this in water and keep scrolling without even needing rice. And that peace of mind is huge, especially if you're traveling or always on the go or dropping your phone all the time. Of course I wouldn't advise you to do that, but anyway. The screen on the Redmi Turbo 5 Max is arguably its second best feature after that monster battery. It uses the new M10 luminescent material, which is the same high-end tech found in much more expensive flagships. So you've got your 6.83-inch AMOLED screen with a resolution of 1.5K and 447 ppi, 3500 nits of brightness and 120 Hz with your Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus shenanigans. I won't bore you with the technical details anymore, I'll just list them somewhere around here, but you're basically getting the same screen as many flagship devices, and it looks great both indoors and outdoors. It's also protected by the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, and the best feature, you have your very own ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. Yes, the more expensive one, that works better, faster, and you can usually find it only in flagships. Absolutely crazy at this price point. There is even a technology here called PWM dimming, and to translate, that means that your screen won't flicker at super low brightness, which reduces eye strain and you won't get a headache scrolling social media at 2 AM. But bro, stop shilling this phone, it's not that great, I bet the camera is dog shit. Well, what if I tell you that this is the first budget phone that I consider using for my YouTube videos? No joke, this thing has 4K 60fps video recording with a Pro mode. That means you have absolute full control over your video and audio, but the quality is also great, not gonna lie to you. The sensor is the Sony Lighthunter 600, which is not one of the best out there, but it does a great job for both photos and videos. I know most people don't really care about pro settings and stuff like that, so I'll keep these samples pure auto both for the photos and for the videos that I've captured, but as I said before, no budget phone impressed me that much. The main lens is the best one, as you would expect, and the photos look crisp and saturated, typical for Xiaomi and Redmi phones. The video quality is also great and definitely obliterates any competition because of the 4K 60fps option. And the ultra wide is ultra shit, like any other phone out there, and honestly I never use it, but that's just my personal preference. I just don't like ultra wide to begin with. And yeah, the video is also a very disappointing 1080p at 30fps, which I don't understand considering the chip inside this phone, but whatever I guess. Honestly, the only downside is Redmi decided that instead of giving you a telephoto lens, they'd give you a fitness plan. Since the 10 times digital zoom looks like a Minecraft screenshot, you are forced to use the sneaker zoom, which is just you actually walking towards the subject. Honestly, with my current cardio goals, maybe Redmi is just trying to help me get my steps in. But jokes aside, one very real and big problem I encounter with absolutely every single budget device is the camera lag. And I would open the camera app usually and try to take a photo or a video, and the viewfinder would lag like crazy, or the video itself would lag in the first 2-3 seconds after I play it, but not on this device. This is the first one. Everything is as smooth as this guacamole that I ate the other day. Alright guys, this is the front-facing camera, 1080p 60 FPS. Even though we have this amazing CPU inside of it, Xiaomi has yet again decided to downgrade the performance of this front-facing camera. So we don't get 4K here, unfortunately, but we do get Full HD at 60 FPS. And you're gonna tell me how this looks like. I mean, it's a bright sunny day outside, literally the perfect conditions, so this phone has no excuse to be giving us bad quality, right? But enough about the camera, let's talk about the software. This is a Chinese phone, so some people would really dislike the Chinese crapware it has stuffed inside. Me? Well, after testing over 10 of these phones already, I know my way around it, and with a few tweaks here and there, all the bloatware is minimized and you're left with a better version than the Western Poco X8 Pro Max that is soon releasing, by the way, in the West. But yeah, the Turbo has a bigger battery and more features compared to the Poco for sure. The only bad thing? No Android Auto. But I sold my car anyway, so I don't care about that. So everything else works perfectly and the customization is far superior here compared to the Poco version, for sure. You've got your always-on displays, a bunch of Chinese themes and these crazy good live wallpapers that don't really drain as much battery as you might think. Now let's speak about some cons of this device. Yeah, actually the only real con is that you're still watching this video instead of buying one. I put a link down below with the best price, so you can go and get it. Talk to you in the next one.